Hello, my fourth grade friends, and welcome to the last day of lesson 29. Tomorrow we will have our review, and then Friday we will have our comprehension check, okay? So, today we're going to be doing 2 workbook pages together, and then you will be working on your blue iReady lesson on these skills, okay? So, we're going to do 617 and 618, then just right onto your iReady. No independent workbook page today. So we're going to jump right on in. Today's focus is on mass and weight, okay? So, Kyle has a jar filled with quarters. The empty jar has a mass of 400 grams. The same jar filled with quarters has a mass of 1.5 kilograms. If each quarter has a mass of about 5 grams, about how many quarters are in the jar? So this is actually a fact for us, but it's also kind of asking us the question all in one, okay? So it's going to get underlined and circled. So, Kyle's jar is filled with quarters, and the empty jar, so this jar with nothing in it, is 400 grams. Now, when it is filled, we're going to show this line for filled, okay? It's about 1.5 kilograms. Now, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, okay? So, what we can do is use that conversion to help us. So, 1 kilogram, kg just stands for kilogram, I don't remember if I said that or not, sorry guys, is equal to 1,000 grams, okay? So that means that half of a kilogram is equal to half of that gram, so 500 grams. So now we can do 1,000 plus 500 and then take away the 400 that is from the empty jar. So because we already know this weight is here without anything in it, so we got to take it out of our equation, is equal to 1,100, right? So we already know this jar empty is equal to 400. That's why we're taking that away. Because if this jar on its own is 400 grams, that means that's getting added to the quarters in the jar. So we want to get that out of there. We don't want to add anything for the weight of the jar itself. So 1,000 plus 500 is the kilograms. And then we're taking away 400 because that's just the weight of the jar, okay? So that means the weight of the items in the jar are 1,100 grams, okay? So now, if each quarter has a mass of about 5 grams, we can take this number and divide it by 5. So we have 1,100 divided by 5, and that is equal to 220, okay? So that means there are about 220 quarters in the jar. Now remember, this is in grams, this is in kilograms. So what we did here is we converted our kilograms, so the 1 kilogram, which is 1,000, and half the kilogram, which is 500, into grams. So this right here is the weight of our jar with quarters in it. We subtracted the 400 because 400 grams is what the jar weighed with nothing in it. We don't want to account that into the weight of our quarters because we're trying to figure out the weight of just the quarters, not the quarters and the jar. So the leftover is 1,100 grams. And then we were told each quarter has a mass of about 5 grams. That means we're going to take the number of our total weight and divide that by 5. And that would mean we have 220 roughly quarters in our jar, okay? So if you have any questions, friends, please ask. If not, we're just going to quickly look at our model on the back, and then it'll be time for you to work on your iReady, okay? So, Kyle has a jar filled with quarters, right? So this is his jar filled with quarters. This is his jar empty. This is the quarter on its own. So this is something we could have done, which is kind of similar to what we did, just in a bar model form. So we know the mass of quarters is 5 times however many quarters we have, and we'll have the weight in grams of the quarters. Mass of the empty jar is 400, so we want to take that away, okay? But because we're looking at the total number of kilograms in the whole jar, we have to kind of keep it there, but just know that we have to take it out at the end, okay? So So this is just kind of two different ways to think about what we just did on page 617. Now, if you have any questions on what we did on page 617, now is the perfect time to ask, because tomorrow we will have a practice problem in our review, and then we'll be taking our quiz on Friday, okay? So make sure you feel comfortable, and if you do, you're welcome to move on to your iReady lesson that is also going to be due on Friday, the day of our comprehension check, okay? So let me know if you need anything. I am here, and have fun with your iReady lesson otherwise. Bye, guys.